And so they both drew who they saw, and it got down to a plaid skirt that she was wearing, a white top, her red hair, both had red hair.
Wow. I wonder if it was the same spirit at different ages.
Could be, I don't know.
So the other thing, when I was talking about this negative spirit or this negative entity, the mass, you know, that's when, before we stepped into the house, it's funny that you say that your last house was in the entryway, because I saw it with you before we stepped into the house, and it's not that it's necessarily always with you, it just, like, that's the first time that I saw it, and it seemed like this giant mass. It didn't necessarily have a shape to it, but when we were talking about it on Tuesday, the day we were supposed to come, I saw the little girl, and I was able to describe her, and I also saw this man, which made me feel very negative. And he was wearing a white button-up shirt and brown pants. I'm pretty confident usually in my ability to tell the difference, because energy feels so different between something positive and something negative. But at first, I just felt indifferent, and then over time of it staying there, and it just didn't make me feel good. So that was the only other thing that I picked up on before coming here, and since wonder if that's what that mass was.
In Vegas with the medium at that time, she never described what it was. She just said there's something very evil from here to here, and she said it ends right at the entrance to your bedroom. And while we were talking, while my dad was there, she said, "Is this house two-story?" I said, "No." She goes, "Why?" She goes, "There's something running back and forth upstairs. So there's something in the attic running back and forth."
Maybe we should do a spirit box and
set up some of the other equipment too, like a...
Definitely.
Should I tell you how my son told me?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so when he was about 4, I didn't want to tell him anything until he became an older age where he could understand everything. So he came up to me, looked me dead in the eye, and said, "Your dad is dead," just like that, same tone. "What? Your dad is dead." "Who told you that?" "He did." "What do you mean he told you?" "He comes into my room every night and talks to me. He told me what happened." Very direct and very toned like that.
Just straightforward.
Straightforward.
Not beating around the bush. No. Is that a way that your dad would have spoken?
No.
Like, that seems...
Not at all.
That's not the impression I got at all.
Not for 1 second. Which later, a woman started visiting in his room. But that's how I found out that he was there.
Green is like the furthest, and as you get closer, the colors will change. So if something's like grabbing it, it'll turn purple.
I think the flashlight's just really amazing, because no one's touching it, you know?
And we've gone places where it doesn't turn on the entire time we're there.
My name's Amanda.
I'm Mackie.
I'm Keith.
I recognize Keith, but Mackie and I are just visitors hanging out tonight, and we were hoping to be spirits of love, light, positivity, open a line of communication. If that's something you're open to, we have some devices set up. Can you shut it off? We'll give you 15 seconds.
You can also take energy from our light.
I just want to start by asking you a quick question.
Okay.
At Chevy, the holidays mean going places and having fun with friends and family. Visit your local Chevy dealer, and when you find your red tag, you find your deal. Find new moments, find new roads.
Asking you a quick question.
Okay.
After you turn the flashlight off, we're gonna ask how many spirits are in this room here with us right now, and we'll go through counting each number, turn it on when we get to the number that it hits.
Do you have it written down what you think? Okay.
1, 2, 3.
What do you have written down?
3. I wrote 3, and then as I was writing 3, I felt somebody else came in that I didn't want to acknowledge.
Okay.
So I wrote 4 like all to the side.
What's going on with this thing?
This is,
Temperature, I'm guessing.
yeah.
I can't see it from where I am.
Well, there goes the EMF. So you see like the tiny red dot beneath the big one?
Yeah,
So when that starts flashing, that's EMF.
what does that mean?
That's like electromagnetic frequency, like fields.
So it's picking something up.
So
Yeah,
energy.
energy basically. Who do you think is here?
It's your father standing right there. But I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
And right when I started to ask, when I went, and it went boop on, and I was like, okay, I'll wait and give it a second, and then it turned it off.
If I say something, will it be a response?
I just would think it would be insane if it didn't. Yes.
Dad, are you here? Can you turn off the light if it's you?
That's crazy. Well,
Have you been here with us for a while tonight, trying to get our attention and open a line of communication with us? And turn that flashlight on. Your.
yes. Sorry, I keep getting out to check the camera to make sure it's still going.
Is there anything you want to tell me, Dad, through Amanda? Turn the light off if there is.
I wrote down yes also.
Can you tell her?
We can cut this. He knows. Like he sees it. He's here for it.
What did he tell you?
Just that you were going through it. But I think that the reason he shares that maybe is so you know that one, you're nowhere near alone, and that
Definitely not alone,
to validate he is here and he's seeing it and he's always with you.
Well, that's some validation, yeah.
I don't know what to say. I mean, there's 40 years.
He's been here for all of it, so it's wherever you want to start. Was there a river trip?
What?
Was there a river trip? Inner tubing or
Starting in the very early 70s, we started going to the Colorado River.
that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Parker Strip area. Our area was Echo Lodge. At the age of 5, he taught me how to water ski. My sister, between May and October every year until 1982, which we didn't make. But we used to go 6 times a year or more.
No, he was there for the river trips after too.
Once he gravitated to a larger boat, it was a ski boat, but not a traditional ski boat. It was too big in a sense, but not really for Echo Lodge. So we started going to Lake Havasu. We were river rats. That's how we grew up in the summer.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
River trips.
He, not one trip would go by where I wasn't thinking about him, especially the very first one.
Probably because he was there. Can I ask your sister's name? Do you mind also asking her his name?
For what?
Your mom's name?
There's something that he might know or might not know, I'm not sure, but I don't know how to ask it so he could hint away for it, or maybe he'll tell you.
I will pay attention for that.
Yeah, do you know about? Can you turn the light on if you do? I know what we're talking about. I'm not sure.
Usually you give them like 15 seconds to answer, or sometimes it'll to like offer that they can take energy from our light.
Dad, are you still here?
Oh.
It's interesting that he would answer me, unless that was for the yes, he knows. But it's interesting he would answer yes, I'm here, and not the other thing.
Yeah.
And I can say it, I just don't want to change his communication with me, because I want him to stay.
Of course. from my experience, I feel like they are aware of what's going on, and even though they are aware, and we might think because they might react a certain way because that's the way they were when we knew them and we had them here with us, so present. But I feel like even though they are still here, they leave behind all of that. I want to say negative, but sometimes they're not negative, grudges, just the normal human emotions where things might upset you after you leave the weight of this world behind. All of a sudden it doesn't bother you so much.
There's actually one person I'd like to know about. He knows. I think he knows.
I feel like he's taken a step back and there's somebody else here also, in addition. But that doesn't mean that he won't not answer the question. Does the name Sierra, Sarah, Sandra, anything like that mean anything?
Yes.
Sierra, Sarah. I wrote down also he was going to set off the REM pod at the same time that I brought up Sarah.
And
Sarah, maybe the one you wanted to know about. Yeah.
Dad, you want to talk about Sarah?
Yes.
Did he know Sarah when she was a baby? Does Sarah have anything to do with is there a baby involving Sarah?
Roundabout sort of way, yeah. Actually more than that. Dad, who's Sarah?
All of a sudden the entire conversation,
Holiday season's in full swing, and Dick's